Hello, we're back. Your host Ron Handy. We got a new title now. We talking to the people now. That's what our
We
title
also
is.
got new people too.
We got new people too. Yeah.
we got some people this way, that way, but we got one.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we had a very interesting discussion. So what we're gonna do is continue on basically, and you know me, I cheat now. I just let our guests introduce themselves.
I ain't no guest.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Introduce yourselves.
You're the co-anchor. You one of the co-anchors, huh?
I'm behind the big man.
and tell us and give us your interest in our community. Go ahead, Mr. Washington.
Hi, Steve Washington. You know, I'm all about the historical black colleges and universities, and I'm about the community growing together, supporting one another in spite of. We have to begin to support one another in spite of. I'm gonna let you go because I can go for 90 minutes. Go ahead.
And you only got 30 seconds.
Right. I am Student Minister Robert Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan's Wilmington, Delaware representative here in the city, and our mosque is located on 28th and Washington Street, and here in Wilmington, Delaware.
Imam Umar Hassan L, community activist, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Speak to your grandkids. 'Cause they not
And,
gonna get
yeah, all y'all pay close attention, especially you, Crazy, if you're home, pay close attention. Remember, I talked Tuesday at the church on 22nd and Market Street, and remember what I said. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you.
All right, sir.
I'm just here.
And you
I'm
never-
here, and I just think that everybody know me. A lot of people know me, and a lot of people talk to me, and that's why I say we need to talk to the people.
Talk to the people.
Instead of talk to ourselves, a lot of time we get up here, we talk to ourselves, but we need to look at these cameras
Sure.
and give it to the people, because if we're gonna lead this community, if we're gonna get this community out of the worst shape it ever been, that a mayor ever had it. None of these mayors, the previous, have never had this city in the shape it is today. And we're gonna have to talk to the people.
Look, can I start off? I got a book right here that says, it's mandatory to identify and kick slave habits. And most of our problems come from slave habits. Now y'all go over there.
Yes, sir. I want to let our people know that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan just held a press conference in Washington, D.C., November the 16th. The press conference was it was a message to President Trump and the American people and to our people. You can go to NOI.org and view the whole message. It's about 2 hours. It was blacked out, but it was a final warning to the President of the United States of America and to the American people, and a final call to black people. And he is telling the President that he got to let black people go. And the forces of nature, which we are about to witness in rain, snow, hail, and earthquakes, is going to increase here in the city or in America to back the minister's words up to let us go. Our 460-year-old sojourn here in America is up and it's over, and we have to go, and God is going to fight them to release us. And so I definitely wanted to let you all know that. If I don't say nothing else, view that, the words of the minister, NOI.org. Thank you.
Go ahead, Steve.
Crime in Wilmington at an all-time high simply because of their lack. And their lack of skills, their lack of finances, their lack of love, family. And we really have to be the ones to change it. We can't put it on anyone else. We have to really come together and work for the better good of the cause. See, we're caught up in two things. One is an implicit bias, and the other one's an implicit racial bias. Mm-hmm. Now, the implicit biases we have amongst each other simply because we form opinions or we prejudge each other prior to knowing each other. Mm. You know, we
Or we just don't like each other.
and we have to get past that. I don't like. I may not be like you,
Right.
but I love you. See, what's happening is that we're missing love amongst one another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how is our
We'll
community
agree.
going to grow if we're not loving each other?
That's right.
We caught up, listen, during the bus boycott, during the civil rights movement, they sacrificed riding the bus. Today, we need to sacrifice our agendas. See, what's happening in our community is that we all have these different agendas there because of finances, there because we've been bought, instead of us really looking at the fact that we are subtracting each other out. We don't even, we have more similar or more in common than we do different. And right now, we focus on our differences. And because of that difference that we have, which is an implicit bias, we don't grow.
But Steve,
Yes.
I have a young brother that just got killed. His father's name, Eugene Paywell, on 2nd Street. Called me up. Now, like the McDowell, he was the one who was raising Bambi. When Bambi couldn't get in the house with the wheelchair, he took Bambi in his house, and he kept the family. Now his son is gone, and it happened on 2nd and Harrison.
Sure.
Okay, now he haven't got nothing. The police haven't really talked to him. The medals down haven't talked to him, and they don't know to this point if it was a shootout or if the police came and started shooting. They just don't know, but he wants the truth, okay? It's a shame that after all these years, over the city of Wilmington, over 100 or maybe $200 million in the last 20 years. Now you can count it. Count the budget,
Sure.
count what the state gave to the city, count what the federal government gave to the city, okay, and count the fines and stuff that they fine the people in the city. Plenty of money. Black control, city council, black mayors, white mayors. But now, look at our streets. Look like Beirut, Afghanistan. It looked the worstest in the world in my entire 68 years on this earth. And Omar, you can say the same. It's Wilmington, no paint on the houses, dirty streets. People don't know where they're going to get a job from. People getting put out of their houses because they can't afford to pay the taxes. They are taking houses, and we are sitting around saying, what are we going to do?
You know what? And you said it. You really touched on it. The biggest problem that we have is when you talk about love and people understanding each other, we have no unity.
Yeah.
No matter when anything was done, right or wrong, when a group of people stuck together and put their minds to it, it happened. Now in our city, we have too many people who want to claim that they hear with the answer, the silver bullet, instead of sitting at the table and listening. So what we do, we pick up our little few people and we take them over here and start our thing over here, and then somebody start their thing over here. But that's a city divided.
But we also wouldn't get paid off the backs of poor people.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, if we get program or whatever we get, and the program and the money's supposed to go to the people, the first thing we want to do is look for a salary, look for a desk, look for furniture, look for everything to go in the office, and look for staff before a dollar reaches the community.
Yeah.
But that's
And
still,
you know, to me, the sad part about all that, Bismillah, the sad part about that, and we talking to the people,
Yeah.
they bring in people to help this unity. They bring in people, and the corporate America has done that. I remember I told you when we was outside, I said I met a white lady a few years ago, and she told me with all the money that's in Delaware, there's 1 million corporations in this town, that there should be no poverty in this community. But then we got to turn around, like somebody just said, we got to turn around and look at ourselves, because we spend something like $700 billion in this country. And I want to echo something that the minister said. He said that he meant, calling me ma'am.
Yes, sir,
He said that they want them to let us go. But we have to break the chain ourselves.
Right.
And our leadership. And book here, Solutions for Black America. If we boycott, we used to boycott them businesses on Market Street when the Koreans had them. We ain't boycotting these Arabs in these stores, these Koreans in these stores.
But we need to do it.
And this is my humble opinion because we're speaking to the people. If we boycott them and stop spending our money with these people.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean? Because the white man's always ain't colder than the black man.
Right.
You know what I mean? But going back to love, we've lost the love and feeling again. I remember a couple of my old relatives used to say, you can't whip these people. But God is still in control.
Right.
You know?
I'm glad that you said about boycotting because I have a concept that to really show control. And what we do is we pick, okay, this store today, we're not spending a penny. In this store today,
yes, sir.
Okay, to let that store know, this the power that we have. But instead of spending that money, have a banking institution that we put our money in.
Right.
And then we'll pick somebody else's business. We're not going to do them today. Take that money, put that in the banking system. Now what it does two things. It shows everybody we can shut all of y'all down if we feel like it.
And they doing that in New Jersey. It's called New Africa. And they tried to get it here, but they couldn't find a partner bank here. But we can create it's already a credit union that Seals administration did 25 years ago. But you're absolutely correct. If we start banking in the same places, if we start boycotting certain institutions, because 20 years ago we started a thing called African American Economic Development Fund. With women, and I told somebody I talked to, for me, what I'm trying to do, I got a group called Mothers in Unity. I'm trying to get them ready to be that entity that starts, let me say hustle. Speak talking to the people. You know, get up. The man ain't never turned down the black woman.
Right.
Huh? The man, and if we got decent black women,
well, that's why they
all
get locked up
persuasion.
now, because they never turn on the
well,
black
that's
woman.
because they do it with the left hand. Because I keep telling the people, if we stay on the right hand, all this nonsense, get me cuss again. All this nonsense don't happen. But we got to stay to the right, and because of the environment and poverty. And I said this before on this show. Poverty, if you look at the international in Europe and Asia and all that, poverty, the people up top got the money, ain't letting these people get a gallon of milk, a loaf of bread. Right. So you got all this coming up. But you said something else. And I said it before. This is the purging of those kind of people. In our race, my late leader said, we got the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the white man's the devil. Hell, we got some black devils and some Spanish devils.
White black people.
And you know one of the deepest things on this, Brother Roberts and stuff, as we sit in groups, right, we don't know who's the enemy, who ain't the enemy. They all look like us. Yeah. Okay, we don't know. When elections just passed, the people that came out for the mayor and came out for different people, I was attacked for no reason at all.
Yes, sir.
And I just was trying to support what was right. We don't know these folks who are sitting around the table who say, Brother Ron, I'm with you. Right. And what we're going to do together. I watched a young man during McDowell time raise all kind of cane up by the city county building. Me and Jay tried to stop him. He was an agitator. He was an agitator just to do, well, then he disappeared. You know what I mean?
That's the devil.
That was his job.
Unfortunately, our people have become white black people. Yes, we may, the color of us may be black, but internally we've been made like our former slave masters and their children. But the part that I wanted to zone in on is that we need separation, not segregation. Right. Segregation is when a superior, moves and controls an inferior. Right. And our people are segregated, and the superior siphons three entities up out of the community: our preachers, our business people, and our political people. And this is how they control the hood. And so what has to happen is separation must be done, because if Chinese people can produce in every major city in America a Chinatown where they control the politics, where they control the business, where they control the stores, what is wrong with black folks? What it is that our number one thing is we're fearful. We're fearful of our open enemy. And because we're fearful of our open enemy, then we won't do as free people do. And that's why, unfortunately, a whipping has to come to black people because we are afraid to stand up and to do. And that's why we can't get our children to follow us. It is because we are so damn cowardly that we won't get up and do as so-called free men and women are supposed to do.
You know, it was a thing said on my job about black supervisors. And it was a black woman who said that. So, you know, black people ain't gonna never follow you guys. And after 40 years being on the job and looking, I realized that black people would scare white people. I realized that they will screw you, excuse my language, they will mess you around, stab you in the back, but when a white man come, they will, if the police involved, whatever, and you know, Steve, they will snitch on themselves if they got the dry snitch, because they fear the white man. For what reason?
I believe our problem really is that we have a fixed mindset. We react to everything, and we under a good old boy network. We need to change that fixed mindset. We really need to become. We really need a growth mindset. We have to also become proactive.
Well, how do we get
and transparent?
Because you know, and you said, I want to keep that point. We had it before.
Right.
We had a Black Wall Street. Since I retired, going down south, every doggone city down there, from Charlotte, North Carolina,
Keep on going.
Well, what did the white man do to Black Wall Street?
He
what
took
happened.
it from him.
Here's
These
what
brothers got a book
He
that
burned
this brother
everything.
this brother got a book that says, how did they say the Jew, I say
Right.
the Zionist.
Right.
Said, tell the truth.
Got so rich.
How did he get control of our economy?
Right.
They sold Ku Klux Klan uniform to the Klan during slavery, right
Yes,
after
sir.
slavery, and they sold the same cloth to free blacks. They call. Who were the free blacks? We had. What I'm trying to teach is that this ain't no new thing that we got here. If we knew the history of when we had Black Wall Street, we would see how easy it was by
Yes, sir.
taking our monies and
That's
putting
right.
it back together again.
But
Well,
when
the
you,
free
say,
black-
Steve.
when you say his history, you're talking about his version of the story.
No, sir.
But no, what I'm saying is like, if we're talking about history, like your history is not my history because I didn't live the time that you lived. What's going on right now, each generation teaches a generation. And somewhere along the line, that generation stopped teaching the generation.
When we integrated into
Well,
this
right.
freaking
That's right.
society,
I'm speaking
Right.
of...
And
And
it's
you're right.
hypocrisy.
And you're right.
I
And
hear
what we
you.
did,
Finish,
what we
Steve.
did, we did the John Moore, the white picket fence, the Cadillac, and the
2.5
good
kids
suits
and a dog.
and
I
a
get
dog. Okay.
I'm saying,
You're
right,
listen,
Steve.
listen, let's look at us. What are we going to do? You know, that's right. What are we going to do about it? See, the fact is that if we begin to teach each generation, like right now,
Take one,
to be
get-
honest with you, the leadership right now is between 50 and 59.
Right.
If you're 60 and up, your generation should have taught our generation. And then instead of us working in these silos, see, people got their silos. And in their silos, they have their little groups who they want to be in, but it doesn't include. It's not inclusive.
and they
it's
taught
exclusive.
and they taught this in public schools.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
they taught this
you
in
was a
public
teacher.
schools.
yeah.
This is what they
Uh-oh.
did. They miseducated. Book is 70 years old. The miseducation of the Negro. I know everybody
Right.
up here
Yes,
read
sir.
it.
Yeah.
They miseducated us when they broke up. And I say this every time I'm on this air. 1979 desegregation.
I was there. I was
when
right
they
there.
broke
Yeah.
up
I
the
was-
Wilmington public school system. No
Yes,
Harriet
sir.
Tubman.
But
no
guess
I
what,
get
though?
it.
None of that.
Omar, but
Right.
you know what? We always argue.
You know how, right.
No, we always argue that. But
I get it.
Also, me and him was a part of that.
Yes, the first class
Right,
bus.
the first class. But you have to realize we were taught at our schools, Wilmington High School, out of my
Just like
PS.
yourself.
Right.
Right. But now,
But Dealer Walk, but
Dealer
Glasgow,
Man,
Concord,
How many crosses did they bring?
some
Last
other
year?
ones.
I
They
was
teach
there.
our kids nothing.
Whoa!
They taught us nothing about who
Right.
we are. We're fighting now. I'm in a faith group now.
Sure.
We're fighting to put holistic education in the public school.
Right.
These guys couldn't get no Caucasian people. I ain't calling them white no more. White is pure. Pure is God.
Right.
So this dominant culture, he couldn't get none of them to change. I had to go get some retired educators in our community to say he's absolutely correct. These children get nothing about themselves in
But
public
Steve,
education.
But let's
That's
look
exactly
at
right.
learning. Let's look at learning. In spite of, we still have to learn. Learn's a biological
Sure.
change in behavior.
Sure.
So if you don't change in your behavior, you really haven't learned.
But
So
Steve,
right
Steve,
now,
no,
Steve,
what
Steve, Steve.
you
I
got
get
to
you,
understand.
I
But we
get
got to understand is, me and you are prime examples. We were taught critical thinking,
of course.
Yes.
and we were taught how to learn.
And you had a,
So
a
it didn't
daddy
matter.
or some male head of household.
Daddy
and
and
in the
somebody.
house. These kids, mama's on dope. Daddy in jail.
Where do we-
They raising themselves in the street and as a community. And at my age
But you know
bracket,
they came
our
to the-
age bracket, we dropped the boat when Hicks left this earth in 1990 because he always brought us together and gave us some history about ourselves. And we dropped the boat. We
But
let
just-
some
but-
historical
and I'm
black
glad that you
institutions
said
get
that
out.
because a lot of people fault the school system. It's not the school system fault to teach our kids our history.
Number one, we shouldn't have sent our kids there no damn how.
Right, right.
Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Because the education system is a German education.
But you know, Omar, we had neighborhood schools.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you know, Reverend Herron, Hicks Anderson, Mary
All them
Jones,
guys.
Skinny Wilson, all of them was a part of grooming us.
That's right.
And Steve, yes, we got to roll up to the 21st century
Right.
because we seem to be still back in the 19th century. But when it comes to Omar, us, and you said we haven't given, I give every day.
Me too.
I
No,
got-
you all do.
Yeah, we're not
You
arguing
to
that
us.
yet.
Yeah, and you know
Somewhere
what I
along
give?
the line it was-
I asked a
They
bunch of
incorporated them in house Negroes.
But I asked a bunch of people. I asked a bunch of people about their civil rights. But do they know the Constitution right? Bunch of young guys.
Yes.
They didn't know it.
That's
No
right.
idea.
So every day, every time I get a chance at the port, I put them all around me. And you know what we be talking? How to survive in a white man's world.
Wow.
There's two things. There's two things that we got to give back to our former slave masters and their children: is their religion
Yes, sir.
and their education.
Yes.
We will never be free and an independent people as long as we're educated. Dewey, Kant, and Hegel. That is the basis of white Western education. They were racist to the core. All right. I'm not talking about the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. But if you do not control your education, no system will always produce a slave, because in the educational process, it is white supremacy and black inferiority. That is number one. And then the religious aspect of if you rang out not the teachings of Jesus, but the Christianity, if you rang it out, it means slavery, suffering, and death for the darker peoples of our planet. And not the teachings of Jesus is nothing but a slave making religion. And so, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, we'll be
Well,
right back.
man, the concept of everything is that we don't use God, man.
That's right.
That's right.
We don't mention God,
That's
period,
right.
unless we're
That's
on the
right.
deathbed
That
or
right.
left we need to pay our mortgage or lose our job. It's now Jesus Christ, I'm 100% with God, I'm 100%.
That's
with.
right.
But as we move now, we should have a march for God in this city.
We
He come and
could.
help us to save us from what's going to go down in the next 4 years, okay?
And what you're saying, you're right. We need to have a march, but it's going to take sacrifice. And why we have our agendas, no one's sacrificing agendas. Everybody said, what am I going to get? We have all these organizations working in silos.
And doing the
So,
same thing.
so
Doing the
so-
same
so-
thing.
So, like Sandy was saying last show.
Sure.
What is the solution? Because the solution is, and we all going to agree to this, is to unify somehow. Now we were talking about trust on before we come on the air. To me, when I walk in a room dressed like this here, I feel a spirit from everybody in there. I feel a negative spirit and I feel a positive spirit. And when those positive spirits, them the ones I gravitate
But
to.
you know what?
I get
Omar?
that, but that's an implicit bias.
Yes. But Omar,
But it's reality
I get it.
leading to the solution that we setting up and
How
talking
do
about.
we, Steve,
At
you
least
keep
the
on-
beginning of it.
you keep on saying
How do we
this
do it?
and this group doing this. Give me a solution right now.
It's called inclusion.
Okay.
Instead of excluding me out as to when I ran for office as an independent.
That was politics.
Wait a minute. I'm still a person.
But that was
When
politics.
we talked about running for office, right? It is politics, but we're still people. So instead of what I campaign on inclusion and transparency with education. Now, a lot of people did not include me in their meetings. I wasn't even included in the doggone debates because you're independent. That's hogwash.
See, that's what
but I'm just saying. So we have to begin.
And you're absolutely correct
have
with
to
that.
begin.
You had to correct that point. But this discussion here that we're going to be having for the next umpteen years is to make the people aware of why you ran.
Right.
Because most of them is so hooked up in what you just said
Right.
that they don't see the light like that.
Well,
So
here's
we
the-
got to teach the light like that.
Right.
Well, the reason is why is because I saw separation and divide in our community.
Been here for
and one of the things
Well,
that
you
I
just separated us a couple minutes ago.
no.
You
no,
did.
I'm not
When
going
you
back
said,
and forth.
You said
I'm just
well,
making a
excuse me,
statement.
You say I am 50. We are
54.
59 years old.
We are the
and
leadership
you guys
now.
Are 60 and stuff.
Each
You know,
generation teaches a
that's a
generation.
separation.
Right now, no, it's not
There's
separation.
a separation.
No, because at 62 you can retire and you can collect.
But you
when
don't.
you're in your
but you
50s
don't-
right now,
but
when you're in your 50s,
but
you
hold
get that
excuse me.
confident role.
You still raise grandbabies, great grandbabies,
just-
and your sons and
I'm
stuff.
not debating.
His
I'm
point-
saying,
his
I'm
point-
saying
his
right
point
now.
His point is,
You drew a line.
You know, and it's cool.
It is, it's a
cool with me.
generational-
But we were been teaching.
You all
this
did.
brother's organization, my organization. We had old man. We had Hicks. We had Black and Black.
Exactly.
We had all that.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
when
Mr. Keys.
we lost control again, for my humble opinion, is 1979 when all that took out. We didn't come
Yeah,
together.
I was at high school in 78. I was at McKean in
Wendell Howe,
79.
God mercy be upon him. Wendell Howe was trying to create something that when, like the Jews do, when them kids come home from school, they come to our place.
Right.
That we teach them. That's what Hicks Anderson Center was originally about.
But look,
But we didn't get no
but
control over it.
listen. Let's do this.
Go ahead.
Let's stop talking about ourselves. Cause we was talking about ourselves. Let's talk about these folks out there that need help, need saving, need mercy from God on what's going on towards them. Let's talk about the people on 17th Street, 2nd Harrison, 34th from Market, 8th from Madison, down 8th from Pond. Let's talk about the people that, like I said on last show, that we normally go to that need help. They need mercy. They need
But you said a good point earlier when you said our people, not just the leadership, our people have forgotten God.
Yeah.
See, and God
How do we go
That's right.
back and begin to go to them and say, you know, you need God.
It
You
starts
do
right-
it every
it
day.
start-
You
it's-
do it every
it's-
day.
it starts
I guess
right
you-
here, that's
But
right.
how do we,
Right.
as a group,
by
as a whole group, begin to say,
by
let's
having
march.
this kind of discussion. You a Christian, he a Christian, I'm a Muslim, he a Christian. By having this kind of discussion and letting the people know that our faith is not. Our faith is our foundation, but we got to work together. My humble
But you know
opinion,
what, though?
I don't see us working together. I tell the white,
But
the
we have to
Caucasians
do
do
something
the
better
same
than
thing.
that. I was going to say earlier. We'll work better if we just take religion, take the title of religion off of it. Use spirituality. We all give into the higher power.
That's right.
Period.
Right,
Yes.
right,
You know,
right.
that's what we do. We the ones who put titles and put traditions in the. We do this, we do that. But in the beginning, in Africa and Kemet, they didn't have all that,
Right.
man.
See, and I agree with that. But the spirituality part is not necessarily trying to convert people in your
Right,
efforts.
right.
It's to do God's work by enjoining the good and forbidding the wrong.
Right.
Period.
That's what I'm talking
Right.
about.
We in Wilmington, we
When I go into prison, I'm stop. When I go into prison, I ain't never tried to put
You
my.
ain't never
my-
stop, so stop using that word.
I'm never. When I go in that prison for 40-something years, me and Muhammad, we never tried to tell these brothers to come to Al Islam. We said go to God in whatever form you went,
Right.
or whatever one you want. But just do what is right and forbid the wrong, because you're standing to the left too. You're standing to the left too much. If you stay
Right.
to the right, whatever you want to call
You
it.
had something on your mind.
Yeah, well, and to everyone's point, if we all can remember the Million Man March, the
Yes.
minister never, even though he is a Muslim, he never told us to come and go to the mosque. He said, go to what Brother Umar said, to what you desire to. Well, if you want to join this organization or that organization, go. But let us take an example from the wino. The wino is not interested in the label.
Nah.
He's interested in the content.
That's right.
Right.
See, we can't look at each other with these expression, he's a Muslim, he's a Christian,
right.
and things like
That's
that.
right.
What about the content? What about the character of the brother and the sister? This is what we got to unite on. And one of the things that really bothers me, as our people know, you see us working with everybody.
Right.
Anybody that ever asks us to join them in whatever. The Nation of Islam, under my leadership here in Wilmington, we have helped, you know. And so what I'm asking us to do is when any of us call, then give
right.
us the courtesy
right.
to say,
That's
look,
right.
I'm going to go.
That's right.
Because I don't have a track record of being negative, or when you call, I don't come.
Right.
I'm at our people's beck and call because I'm a servant to our people.
That's right.
But doggone it, I'm telling our people, look, we can't be afraid, because what white folks gonna say if they see you with Brother Muhammad because I'm with Minister Farrakhan. See, white folks don't say that when they may have friends that may be with the KKK or the Aryan Knights or whatnot. They don't give a damn what
they don't
Negroes
trust it. They
think.
don't trust
You know what I'm saying? So why should we? And I haven't robbed no one. I haven't slept with your wife. All right, I don't sneak around with men or women. All right, see, so I put my track record up.
There you go.
You know, and to say, come on, man, we got to get together and let's make some noise together, because I'm telling you, our behinds is in the crosshairs of God's chastisement if we don't get this thing together.
But let me say this right quick. Every morning, every day, I deal with 40, 50 or more people from the age of 18 to 66, okay? And when they come to you and they are in pain, you can see in their face, they need help in one way or the other. They had their mental problems, them kick out, you know what I mean, and they can't control it. They had some man beating on them or conning them. They had the police chasing them or something like that. And when they walk up to me and say, Mouse, I can't get no help, and I begin to guide them, then only thing I'm saying is our people need help.
Sure.
And they need help right now. Not as we talk on this TV, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but right now. They need leadership right now. They need mercy right now. This thing right here in the paper, it's another scam, okay? Where they talk about official behind on taxes and water bills and stuff.
That's so they can get
That's a
jobs.
scam, and when you look at it, it's all black politicians, okay?
Right.
When the people read this in the street, those who read the paper, because too many people don't read the paper no more, okay? But when the people read this, they're going to look at every one of those politicians cross-eyed, and they're going to either try to get somebody in the neighborhood to run against them, or they're going to get a white person to run against them. So I'm going to answer one more question. I'll chill down for a minute. And
Yeah,
we'll tell
right.
you. We've been under the power of Democrats since 1964 or 62. So 62, 72, 82, 92, 202, 212, 55 years or more. You look at our streets. Look at our schools. Look what we got. You look at our kids, mentally ill in jail and stuff like that. It's 3 different ways you can go in this city. Only 3 ways. You can go on drugs, you can get killed, or you can go down Smyrna for 34, 50 years. That's what they give up now. They don't want. Our boys and down the girls. So if we don't make a sacrifice right now, then we leave out the seniors. Ain't nobody going to the senior home dealing with the seniors, and the elevators don't work, the place is dirty, everything else. You know, we got a crisis in the black community,
One of them is literacy.
and we got to deal with it.
Say that again?
One of them is literacy. We suffer with a literacy problem.
Oh,
Kids
my
are not
God,
reading on grade level.
But and I said this the last time. I'm so glad you brought that up. I did a study. 3rd to 5th grade, black males below reading proficiency. Right. Everybody's known that. You go to the prison, 18 to 24, below reading proficiency.
65% of them.
Right. They did another study, adults below reading proficiency.
But guess what? Cuba, 93% of the kids in Cuba is above and way above reading
Right.
levels.
And guess what? I'm gonna tell you one, and
That's
I tell
Cuba.
people,
Yeah.
one of the issues that we have, and I tell everybody, our kids now have been programmed right here. These phones, they live in a 2-foot world. This is all. This is their whole life.
Bunch of nonsense on it.
Right.
Right.
And I have a picture that I bought. I said it last time at Farmers Market of a black man reading the kids. And we read, but how many black men actually read the kids? How many black men show that reading is important? And it's okay to
around the
read.
table with their kids now.
See,
and break bread.
And looking at solutions, I've seen a list of city, places, churches, etc., who have 2 or 3 hours of kids coming off the street for safe haven. But my question was, what are they learning in those 2 hours?
I'm ready to exploit all that.
You know, what are they learning? Because we're talking about helping and educating, et
But you
cetera.
know what it comes from though, and you know what, whoever here, we have a problem with chasing funds. I argued this at a group before. Somebody's over here has money. They had this great idea. What do? We all run to that person because we need that money, and then we can show. See, we're opening up for these kids. All you did was open the door, got them to sign some lists. What did you teach them? When they're off the streets, we had X number of kids off the street. You haven't changed anything.
No, you didn't give them
you got that money. Guess what? You don't need that money to stay open.
No.
You don't need it to stay open.
Right.
If you have people who are dedicated and want to be there, you can open your doors.
See, that's another problem going along what we're talking about. Most of them ain't dedicated.
Right.
But
Yes, sir.
and he
They
brought
want
that up
paycheck.
on his show,
They
and
want
he brings
paycheck.
that
It's
up.
a paycheck.
Yeah,
Paycheck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Paycheck.
and
Go
I
ahead,
had a
Brother
brother,
Lamar.
man, that went to Delaware State University and graduated from school and everything, and he didn't want to teach the little ignorant so-and-sos. You know, but what are we here for? We know our age bracket. I tell myself all the time, you here to teach. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to start my own business.
But
or
God
nothing,
give
'cause I
everybody
got my
lane.
own
We all
food,
here to
you know?
teach.
So that's what this is a unification of teaching to these people so
Right.
they can hear the real deal what's going on. What are you going to do? You need to learn how to read. What are you going to do? If your church has got any kind of sincerity about the worship of God, your church should be out
Right.
there with other groups.
Right,
You
that's
know?
right.
I've been
That's
trying
right.
to get in one group. I ain't gonna mention the name right now, but I will on the next show. I've been trying to get in that group for over 15 years.
Well,
They keep telling me I can come in, but they would never tell me when they meet. And they're spiritual people.
North Star, huh?
Here's one.
I mean, the star in the east, huh?
One of the things we're trying to do with the HBCU Delaware Coalition is reach out to African American teachers, or even if you're not African American teachers. I'm talking about certified teachers to go into Hicks Anderson, to go into the Kingswood Center, and we start teaching kids literacy. We start teaching these kids how to read. Because right now, that's where we're suffering.
Right.
I'm telling you, their lack of skills can
When you
kill.
want to teach the parents?
Who's going to teach the parents?
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal.
There are programs
We wanna-
out there.
You learn to read between the grades kindergarten and 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Then you read to learn from 4th grade throughout the rest of your lives. Okay, so once we get the kids and we begin to teach the kids to read, sometimes they say the kids lead the parents.
Right.
The parents will fall in.
But Steve,
fall in
we
line.
got to go
We
further.
got to do it.
We got to go further than reading.
Sure, we do.
And you being
We
an
do.
educator, my argument has
do.
always been the sight words.
Phonemic awareness. Exactly. You're right.
Clark University in Atlanta, Georgia, had a commercial, and I try to get him to keep listening at 91.6 FM, come
Yes.
on, where they go out in the community.
Yes.
But they got more resources because the community is still together.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
So the community is still together. Black community down there is still together. Clark University go on the east side. They go on the other hood.
Yes.
My son-in-law is teaching entrepreneurship in the hood when he could be somewhere else, but he's a
Yes.
retired Air Force.
And
so we
got to.
And you don't need a whole lot of people to do this.
No,
And be
sir.
passionate
You know,
people.
And we
You
need,
know,
sir.
and we need not only to teach people how to read, we got to teach them comprehension skills.
And how to
'Cause
be
I've
men
seen-
and women.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's in the literacy.
Because
Right.
I've seen,
Teach them
I
how to
seen
be a
them.
mother and a father, a human
Oh,
being.
Right,
let's
right.
back
That's in
up.
literacy. You're right.
In 1969, 1970, Hicks Anderson got with Women's and Housing Authority, and he said, y'all are putting these young folks in housing authorities, houses, without training. They gave him the grant. He taught them how to read, write, pay their bills, clean themselves, take care of a house,
Sure.
do repair, and they wouldn't get a house till they went through all this
That's
stuff.
right, right.
It's a lot of parents out there now, and I ain't only talking about the young ones, it's the old ones too, because it's a generation thing. That they don't clean the house, they don't know how to pay the bills, they're always back in rent, or they're always back in electric bill, whatever, and they don't buy the right food, or they selling the food stamps or whatever, and something definitely wrong with our community.
Post-traumatic slave
we,
disorder.
and we don't need a white man to keep on saying the black community this, the black community that. We don't need a Spanish man to say that, which they black too.
Right.
Because Trump showed them they was black, okay? We don't need that. We need to step to the table and say, sister or brother, you are basically living wrong and doing wrong.
Right.
And not be afraid to tell
We
people.
are here
Right.
to help you. You
But
know what I mean?
that's love. That's true definition of love.
Right.
If I see that you're doing something wrong, I should
Right.
be able to come to you and say, look, that's not how you do it, and this
Right.
is the better way.
And if they cuss, I'm going to cuss back at them.
That's the way you got to deal with
Right.
it.
What needs to happen, what we could start with right now is the houses of worship should become centers of learning, not just on Sunday.
That's right.
We teach how to keep house, how to rear children, how to take care of the husbands, the women, how to act at home and abroad. They are taught cooking. They're taught sewing. All right. We are taught as a man that's been broken by this world. There's classes for black men when you come to how to be a man, how to take care of your family, how to pay your bills, how to read. There's reading classes that we have, study groups that we have. So we have to take our houses of worship and teach a man and a woman that comes in that's destitute, all right, the sciences of life. And there's 3 sciences that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan taught us that our enemies did not teach us. This was the science of business, the science of mating, and the science of warfare.
Go back to that one on mating, because I see it all the time.
Yes, sir.
And I asked a group of kids one time. One kid raised their hand. I said, how many kids in here live with both mother and father? One kid raised it. And that all comes from, when you talk about mate, we don't know how to pick our partners.
But the other fact what we don't do is teach our kids not to lay down with every woman they see.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get our morals back. We had God in our community.
Right.
And right now, we allow our kids to have Mary Lou, Jane, all that. Because Jane, Mary Lou ain't don't realize you keep a boyfriend or you give it up when you get married. You know what I mean?
Don't give it up to you.
Until you get married.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
When I say when you get married, give up when you get married.
I mean,
Right.
and we all came through this.
Yeah.
I
Right,
know I
right,
have.
But,
That's
but
right.
you know,
Right.
we got to get to the point. We got to get to the point that everything we was taught as we were raising you, 59-year-old, okay, we got to get to the point that we got to start over. We got to talk to the women.
You got to go back to basics.
We got to talk to the men about stinking and don't smell good and the hair, or smoking weed and don't go in and take
Right.
some perfume or something and knock it down.
Right.
The approach of life. We got to teach them the approach of life again.
The
You all
old
showed-
heads-
you all
keep your
showed-
point. The old heads in jail said when we went in there to talk to them, they said these kids are looking for a father.
That's all. And that's why I had down the word
That
front.
deep. He said, and the lifer said, and the guy with the big arm said, sometimes I like to just take their break because they rather listen to mom than listen to a man. And that's why they're here. So we're trying to get them to recognize that. So the training is excellent. Go ahead, keep it talking.
We when I was coming up, we came up in Jackson Street Boys
Right.
Club.
The white people ran us out of Jacksonville, put gas in the bus tank. We didn't stand a chance on Jackson
But when he
Street.
came up,
But you all
they
showed
were-
us because y'all had Black Men's Development Center. I'm from the Hill. Okay, I'm from born and raised. I'm from Conrad Street, went to Lord School. So I'm aware. But we came up at Jackson Street and we were around men. It was a boys' club.
You know Calvin Loper on there.
Lopers. Yeah, I'm a loper. I'm from a loper clan. That was loper and them.
But that's what's missing from when we was talking on the phone the other night from our educated people.
Right.
See, our educated people with them fancy cars and
But
the
they was
houses
in our
built from the
neighborhood.
ground there.
Our educated people was in our neighborhood.
But going back to our original statement,
Yes, sir.
integrating into this freaking dying society.
Yes, sir.
That was the argument
Right.
between all the educators of old, and that was the one between Malcolm and Dr. King and them, and it's still today. We have let ourselves and our children be educated by the devil.
Right. Yes, sir.
And so they have
So
lost that
that's why I
morality.
say
Right.
That's why I'm saying that we sitting up here is one solution. Must give a march to God.
Right.
Let's do it.
What, one
We
of the
must
things,
get with the
right.
preachers and everybody
In the
and sit down and say,
springtime,
let's
yeah.
go
Right.
to the
Yeah.
poor communities and give a march to God.
Because they
and
having
bring them
peace
in.
marches,
Right.
but that's an excellent thing. Let's have a march for God because that's our salvation, whatever you
Right.
want to call
That's
it.
right.
That's our
That's right.
salvation. This, like I was telling you earlier, man plans, but God is the best of planners.
Right.
So
Right.
if we put God back, and these kids have no knowledge, and you go in these prisons, you'll see these kids have. They
No,
find
right.
out God while they're there.
Right.
Those who got some kind
Right.
of intelligence,
Right. Yes,
both
sir.
mind and soul. But the majority of them, they don't know nothing about God.
Well, a lot of them go to the nation or to the mosque and for safety. And when they get out of jail, they lose it.
Throw the book behind them.
Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
we got to be able to keep them and keep praying
Right.
and keep them and because you guys are the most successful
Yes.
folks of
Yes. You ain't never lied.
reprogramming a black
Right.
man
That's
and a
right.
woman
That's
right.
than anybody ever did.
Right.
You got a
Yes, sir.
system. You have
Right.
a system that
But
works.
see, here's the thing: if that is, and it's been known, even a Caucasian, they have wrote, why is it that the Nation of Islam is able to rehabilitate the dregs of society? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching reforms. He didn't take us to no island to reform us. He raised us, and Minister Farrakhan raised us right in the ghettos where we were cutting the food. So it is a teaching that we have been given that is in accord with our nature.
Okay.
You see? And that's where we all saying love self, and that we need to come, we need to enjoy self, and we need to fall in love with self. We have been
Okay.
given a
Real
knowledge
quick,
of self.
we got
Let's
2 minutes.
Let's bring it. Let's work together.
30 seconds.
And come up with this Malcolm Martin similarity day where we focus on the similarities.
25
Because we
seconds.
grow with similarities and let those differences go away.
Right.
And we need to plan that like now and have it.
Ready for the spring.
Okay, got
Coming
your
up.
30 seconds.
Minister Farrakhan's press conference with President Trump, NOI.org. Listen to it.
Need to learn how to do for self. Stop spending money in these people's stores that don't give us nothing back. And that's what I'd like to do, a boycott with them.
Man,
and
you
these
already
young
know
people
where I'm at on that one.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank all y'all. You're welcome to come back anytime you want to. But the most important thing, if we don't get it together now, we ain't gonna never get it together. So we had a group last time. It's gonna be another group the next time.
Right.
Till we get a town hall meeting right on these TVs and talk to the people.
Okay, we got a couple. I have a couple things. Actually, tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Every Monday at Tabernacle on 5th and Washington. Come join us. We're going to have a sit down. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about housing. Anybody can come. Everybody can come. We're going to have a platform so we can get out here and promote the very things that we're talking about. Because once we control our economy
That's
and
right.
have sustainable
That's right, bro.
sustainable funding,
That's right.
we're able to go out on our own and do
That's
the things
right.
that we need to do.
Don't forget the Leaf organization's
The Leaf,
program.
the second.
The second
Saturday.
Second Saturday, ILA Hall from 10 to 3.
And tell
Don't
Leaf,
beat me there, meet
yeah,
me there.
but tell Leaf, tell Dr. Morton,
Yes.
he's right in back of 7th and Jefferson and Washington. He's right in back of 5th Street. Walk back there. Tell Leaf, they right over South Bridge. When they get finished that meeting, walk in that neighborhood.
Gotcha.
All right.
Peace.
We got done quick today. We be back in 2 weeks. Peace.